Good afternoon. What a beautiful day in Georgia. Out here walking this property where I live. Very peaceful. Used to be a golf course. Come out here and you can think. Still got a few of the range balls in the back there where the driving range used to be on the side. What a beautiful place. What a peaceful place. So today's subject is a series of conversations about what I call the great retail lie. Management, leaders, co-workers, they work in an environment where they're placed under someone's care. Sometimes you're a leader of 1, 5, 10, 100 districts, regions, divisions, similar to the military, and you have one leader over that company and that corporation. And most don't know that that CEO, that chairman, he works for the shareholders. He appoints people below him. Sometimes they're also the president or they have different titles. But their job is to run that business for the shareholders. People take a stake in it, they buy stock, they have voting rights, they have shareholder rights. When things aren't going well, large shareholders can push management for change. They can relieve CEOs and board members and ask for seats on it if they believe that company's not being run and the true value of the company's not being received to the shareholders, or they just simply sell their shares. They get rid of them. But the great retail lie is this. When you go to work for a retail corporation and you onboard, you make that agreement to work there, you come underneath the authority of that company and you exchange an hour's wage for an hour's work, benefits, health insurance, and things that you need. You have a total compensation package when you go there, and you accept that offer and you go to work. But you accept a role in that company. But where the lie comes in is that you accept a role as department supervisor. But that role keeps getting expanded and expanded and expanded, and as a business is not run properly by managers. Notice I didn't say leaders, I said managers. Most people go to work there and assume that these managers are appointed, are highly trained and highly skilled. It's not so. They're basically no different than you and I. They've either spent enough time, talked to the right people, paid enough dues, or just for whatever reason, because of change in demand, they get appointed a manager. And then they execute a plan that's given to them above from their leaders. Normally a micromanaged plan because the trust isn't there. New manager, they don't trust them. They put them in the position to manage that $30, $50 million operation. They don't have business school. They don't have college degrees. They don't have extensive training. Most, they're just the next man up. And we assume when we go to work there that that leader, manager, is highly qualified to do that job. And that's the great lie. We place our trust in people to lead us, but over time, the real fruit of that leader comes out. And the easiest way to determine that fruit is listen to what they say and then watch what they do. There's a proverb that says iron sharpens iron. Another man will make another man stronger. Together they're stronger. And in leadership, that's what's supposed to happen. You're supposed to train, build teams, strengthen those teams, constantly enhancing discipline, holding accountable, not only yourself, but your team. Communicate a culture and a message of excellence, not a culture of complacency, not a culture where we just let people wander around and do whatever they want to do and not follow safety rules and wear headphones and wear inappropriate clothes and dress the way they want and have whatever image they want. say and do whatever they want. It's not an atmosphere for success. And over 45 years of owning, running, managing, and operating retail businesses, some of them my own, some of them my family, and the most successful businesses are ones that are run with a disciplined plan of execution and correct culture and messaging. See, when I work for you, I got to know that one, you're willing to train me, lead me, and that you have an operational goal that we can reach. Not some number somebody pulls out of a hat, not some number that we told to shareholders and now we got to make that number, not some stock price of $350. Because at the end of the day, you may have 10 employees or you may have 300,000 employees. But if you lie to them, and you tell them things that are not true, and you don't lead them properly, and you yourself don't execute properly, and you make comments like, if I can't get along with you, you can't be in my business. If you're not like me, you're not part of the club, so you got to go. And talented, excellent employees get run off every day because someone doesn't like them, because their ego's too big. They have no leadership training, and they have a difficulty leading themselves. And how do I know that? Because look at the fruit of their family. Meet their family. How well is it operating? Do they come from multiple divorce? They come from addiction? Do they come to work with alcohol on their breath? It's not hard to tell if someone's really cut from a different cloth and is a leader. Managers just manage chaos. And in retail, chaos happens every day. You can't plan what customers are coming in the door. You can't plan for any of it. You don't know which employees are going to show up. You don't know which ones you can depend on because you haven't built relationships with them. You can't meet their spiritual, physical, and emotional needs. So you basically put 150 some odd people in a building, all going in different directions, and you think you can be successful. And then you teach those employees to perpetuate that same lie. Hey, get a credit card and you'll be more loyal. Here's $100 for a credit card that's got a 30+% interest rate. We promise you we're gonna install your product. We're gonna sell you this $100,000 cabinet project. But then here comes the lie. They send out unqualified third-party vendors that can't do the job, are not licensed to do the job, are not certified to do the job. But you assume when you walk in there and you see that great big sign on the front of the building, well, you know, this is a multi-billion-dollar company. They have to be excellent. They have to follow through. They have to make sure customers' carpets are installed properly. I mean, what kind of business would be successful if they didn't really do what they sell to people? They didn't follow through. They don't execute on the backside. See, it's easy to sell somebody something once, but it's much more difficult to follow through on your promise and then build a strong relationship with somebody so that they return. And they're loyal because you did what you were supposed to do. You didn't flash some fake sign in front of them. You don't have athletes running all over the place, endorsing a place, getting paid to say certain things. I've been in retail my entire life, as an owner, as a stock boy, as a cashier, as a top-level leader. It's always the same perpetual cycle of success and failure, success and failure. But the problem is as that company succeeds and fails, and CEOs and different people get replaced because they don't execute on their promises, lots of normal people that just go there to feed their family and take care of their family and bless their family and provide and love and care for their families are the victims in it all. We see those gigantic payouts, 100 million, massive houses in gated communities, 1,000 people get laid off. Throw around some money as bonuses, do performance-based reviews, throw a little money at them, just enough to keep them working. But don't supply the tools to be successful. don't have the ability to lead. And you see it. It's like an up and down roller coaster. And right now in the retail business, the roller coaster's headed down to lows. Credit is tightening up. Inflation's still rising. We keep telling that lie, hey, just work harder, put your head down. Just do things this way and it'll all be great. But the second you start to question some of that wrong operation or wrong leadership, you got to go. You can't be part of our organization. You're not like us. You're different. You're not part of the cult. You aren't a vest. You are not a paycheck. You are not a job title. You are what you are in the world. You are what you are as a husband or a father or a family member or a brother or a sister or a soldier. Your identity isn't in a job. You go there with the hopes that someday you too could work from the bag boy to the CEO. It's a lie. It's not true. You have to step on people. You have to treat a lot of people falsely. You show favoritism. You retaliate when you don't get your way. You start throwing your weight around, thinking you're like some kind of god. You're just a retail manager. Can you lead people? Can you be like a leader like Nick Saban? Can you operate your business like Chick-fil-A and be closed on Sundays? Honor your employees and Publix, where the employees own the business. And when there's issues and problems, they ask those employees. They gather them in a room and they say, hey, how can we fix this? And they actually listen. You know, what good is an associate survey if you have no intention of listening to any of that? It's just a lie. It's a perpetuating lie to extract profits from labor in a business. People say, oh, that's just capitalism. It's garbage. So my advice on day one is don't listen to the lie. Know the truth. Know your value. Don't be afraid to stand up for your value. Because when all of these different lies perpetuate inside of a corporation, here's the problem. Outside of that corporation, there's regulations. Equal Opportunity Commission. If a business doesn't give you the proper equal opportunity, just file a claim. Let them investigate. Hold people accountable. You know, you wonder why unions come into places. Because no one really represents the employee. The managers say they do. They'll make comments like, I'm not here to make my bonus. I'm not here to make a bunch of pay. I'm here for you. You're family to me. Well, if that's how you treat your family, I'd be embarrassed. My family would kick me out if I treated them like that. So you're supposed to love your employees and you're supposed to guide your employees and you're supposed to lead your employees, even if you have to sacrifice. And the best leaders grow new leaders. They end up making these employees better than them. Some people stay at a management level their whole life and they grow people all the way up to the top of the C-suite. That's a leader. Someone's willing to sacrifice, someone that cares, someone that has great listening skills, but also has the courage to talk to leadership and say, hey, this is not working here. Okay, here's the problems we have. Let's solve them. Not lie to the customer and never take care of the problem and do an appeasement, you know, to try to appease the customer so they don't make enough complaints. And listen, employees don't complain. Employees don't file EEOC complaints. Employees don't file workman's comp stuff because they're afraid to lose their job. That's their only means of income to take care of their family and feed themselves. How are they going to put gas in their car? How are they going to go to college? How are they going to grow into something great in their life? They're 100% dependent on that company. And those companies fail their employees. And someday when that leader gets removed from the top, he still keeps his $100 million of stock and his giant gated community house that's not even in his own community. It's just a lie. When you go into these environments, first job as a cashier, know what you're getting into. Know what kind of contract. Ask the right questions. Ask for the proper value. Listen, if you don't feel like your review was good, go in there and ask for a raise. If they don't give it to you, start applying for other jobs. Go find somewhere that's going to value you as a human, value you as an employee, and you're not just a stock certificate. You're not just a number. Tomorrow, my video is going to cover human resources. Another great lie. Hey, have a good day. Say your prayers. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Take care of yourself.